Hey and welcome to a 1982 review. This is a review requested by you, the viewers. It's the Hornby Sentinel locomotive that we're looking at today. As you can see there, R3178 NCB, it's National Coalboard livery, 4WDM diesel Sentinel locomotive. Now, right, where do we begin? Okay, well, it's a fairly new locomotive. It came out in early 2014, I think, and for some reason, I don't really understand why, but it seems to be incredibly popular. I've seen it appear on loads of channels. I mean, even people that don't usually do reviews have done a review of it. It just seems to be that popular. I really don't know why. For a start, it's Hornby, and lots of hardcore model railway fans ignore Hornby and avoid them like the plague, thinking that they're just not professionally enough, but I've seen loads of hardcore people buying this. And secondly, I think it's quite an ugly little thing. I really do think it's such a bizarre, peculiar little locomotive, but it seems to have stolen the hearts of many, and I want to find out why. Well, what do we know about it? For a start, its manufacturer is Sentinel. Sentinel is a word, it means sort of like a guardian type thing, but it also is the name of the company in this case. I had to do a little bit of research on this before filming it because it's quite hard to find stuff out about. But basically, in Shrewsbury, a long time ago, there was a company called the Sentinel Wagon Works. And that company made lots of different locomotives. They also made trucks as well. They made steam-powered trucks and diesel-powered trucks and things like that. But eventually, they got onto making diesel locomotives, and one of them was this. And they did it in partnership with Rolls-Royce, as far as I'm aware. And in 1963, or at least by 1963, they had 4 different locomotives. One of them being this, their 34-ton, chain-driven 040. And it was powered by a Rolls-Royce C6 SFC 6-cylinder, 233 brake horsepower engine. So, not massively powerful as far as locomotives go, but in terms of shunters, pretty capable. Not bad at all. And then after that, they did an 060, and then in particular, the steel industry demanded even more power, so they did an 080, which is a really big, powerful beastie. But this is the 040, so this is like their basic budget little version of all the shunters that they did. This is the 040 with a 233 brake horsepower engine. The model hasn't got that, I should point out. The model definitely hasn't got a 233 brake horsepower engine. It's probably got some nice little fancy compact Hornby motor in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know anything more about it. As I say, it was quite hard to find out the real stuff about it. I do believe that there's one on the East Somerset Railway, and I do think I've seen one years ago on the Hope Valley, or by the Hope Valley. There's like a big cement works there, although that could have been an 060. I'm not sure. It could have been an 060, and this is an 040. So, without further ado, let's get the box open and see what you get inside. I'm not a massive fan of this type of Hornby packaging. I think it's a little bit fiddly, but it's okay. It does the job. So we've got the outer box there. We've got like a sort of shell there, and then there's the actual. That's a funny thing, I've just noticed. There's no instructions to it. I've only just noticed and only just realised that there are actually no instructions to this model. I shall have to take that up with the shop I got it from, but there should be some instructions. I'm sure about that. Never mind. I may do that in a future video. Maybe I'll DCC it. I'm not sure. Anyway, what else have we got? So there's some accessories here. Oh, now that's quite nice. Yes, I know what these are. If you can look at those sort of connectors there, the dovetail things, basically these are what go into your NEM pockets at the ends. So if you don't want the couplings to be there, or you don't want the couplings to be at a particular end, then you can take the couplings out and put one of those in, so it looks more realistic. And that's quite good. But yeah, that's it basically. That's all you get. Just those little accessories, your locomotive, your basic packaging, and as I say, there should be some instructions, but for some reason there aren't any in this particular box. I shall have to take that up with the shop. So let's crack it open and have a look at the detail. No, stop. Belay that order. We have them. Ta-da! I am such a fool at times. I really am. They were there the whole time. They weren't in the box. Basically, the night I got this, I wanted to show Craig it because it was just so random and so strange. And I opened the box and I took the instructions out, or I think they fell out. They probably fell out, I'm not too sure. But then they were picked up and noticed a day or two later. So they are here. Apologies, shop. It's okay. We have them. Sorry about that. I don't know. I'm losing it. Right, Sentinel class. 040 diesel electric locomotive. DCC ready. Okay, that's quite interesting. It's going to be a small chip, isn't it? There's not much room in there. Right, general routine maintenance, track cleaning, motor. I don't think there's anything different. Running hints. Electrical. Yeah. Make sure your reel change. Yeah, I mean this is all basic standard stuff. Wow, now look at this. Lubrication, where to put the oil. Okay. Interesting. Body removal. Take the couplings out, and then there's some screws there. Lift it off. DCC ready. Wow. Look at that. Gosh. To access the DCC socket, remove the plastic cover to gently lift upwards by gently lifting upwards as shown in figure 7. Due to limited space in this small locomotive, a 4-pin socket has been used, and specially adapted Hornby decoders can be purchased to plug into this. Wow. Well, Nick was right. This particular shunter was bought by my good friend Nick. He's got one of these too. I think he might be getting a second soon. He likes them so much. Nick runs the LMS 16440 channel. He's a really good friend. He works at S&J Models, and he did say that this particular Sentinel Shunter has a sort of proprietary 4-pin DCC decoder. And he's right. He's right. I've never seen anything like it. Wow. Nick, I'm impressed. I just hope that I can get hold of such a thing okay. So, oh, and the sun's come out to greet us. Lovely. So I will have to do a feature video on that. Keep your eyes peeled. Accessories. Carefully fit the detailed parts. I don't think I want to though. I think I want it to be. I think that I want the couplers there. Maybe I could just put the couplings. Maybe I could put the accessories into one end and have like the couplings on the other. But then which end would I do it? I don't know. Because it being a shunter, it's obviously useful to be able to just couple up to that end or to couple up to that end. I don't know. Ah, well, we'll see. We'll see. The vac tank can be removed to gain access to the front assembly screw. Okay. Right, reassembly. Place the front of the main body roughly in place and locate the front rails. Okay. Then erase the rear of the body. Then ease the rear of the body down, making sure not to trap any wires before the rear of the. Relocate the wires near the handrails. Gosh, it's quite a tricky, fiddly little thing, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to be wanting to open it up very often. And then there's just a little bit about your safety and guarantee stuff. There's nothing else important. Right, okay, details and instructions, found instructions to one side. Let's have a look at it in detail. Okay, well this is where Nick does like the packaging because he likes this particular lift off and just fold away packaging. You think that's pretty good, and it is pretty good. And I must admit the lack of an outer sleeve means the box is quite hardy. So yeah, I can see where he's coming from there. The packaging is not too bad. So let's have a look at the model in detail then. Right, now I really do think it's such a bizarre little thing. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the design? Do you like the design of it? Do you like the styling of this model? I'm not too sure. I'm not convinced. I'm genuinely not convinced. I mean, look at that. It looks a little bit like a pig. I just don't think it's a very attractive model. I don't think it's a very attractive locomotive. But detail-wise, I must admit, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We've got a beautiful grille at the end here. Look at that. Now that is nice. You see how the light's bouncing off all the, well, there's basically loads of tiny little bits of metal behind that. There's essentially a metal grill, a mesh grill. with plastic over the top of that, and yeah, and then even more plastic over the top of that. But that's a pretty nice effect. It looks pretty good. The buffers, as Nick did point out when I was buying this, are not sprung. They're not sprung, which is a bit of a shame. But then, do you know, you can't please people. Whenever I've commented on the buffers being sprung, I get a load of people saying, "Well, what's the point? What's the point in the buffers being sprung? It's not really useful." But then when you get a locomotive where the buffers aren't sprung, people say, "Oh dear, they're not sprung. It's not very good, is it?" So you just can't please people, can you? You can't win. But no, they're not sprung. They are nice though. They do look fantastic. Can you just imagine weathering those up? You know, like big blobs of grease on the ends of that. It would look fantastic. The couplings are NEM. There we go. No, actually, yes. Yes, there they are. Gosh, I couldn't see it because of this thing here. The well, what did they call it? They called it a tank, didn't they? They called it a vac tank. They called it a vac tank. That's right. I think that might be this. But yes, you have got a slimline, small, nice and compact tension lock coupler here, and it's going into a NEM socket, like a little pocket thing, and that is connected with a dovetail connector to the actual chassis, the actual locomotive there. And it's exactly the same setup at the other end. Again, really small tension lock, NEM pocket, and then a dovetail connection to the chassis, which is pretty good. And just look at all this detail you've got around the underframe as well. Look at this. Now, initially I thought that this was like when I just glanced at it in the box, I thought this was some sort of coupling rod, but it's not. It doesn't connect those wheels at all. The 06 though does have a coupling rod, but this one, it hasn't got anything like that. It's just part of the braking mechanism probably, I'm not too sure. But it looks fantastic. And I particularly like these little pipes you've got here. I guess they could be for grip, I guess they could be sanding pipes. I'm not too sure. I think that's what they probably are, but I don't know. People watching this who are Sentinel experts will probably correct me, but that's what they look like anyway. You've got a handrail here. Can you see that? Now that's really nice. I mean, yeah, be careful because it's obviously quite delicate, but then, I don't know. Having said that, it feels pretty tough. When it comes to handrails, this is probably the toughest handrail I've ever come across. That's really quite rigid. That could take some abuse. That's not an invitation. I'm just saying that it could, if it had to. And then look how you've got like a slightly smaller. See, you've got like a sort of stubby pug type nose at one end, haven't you? And then like a bigger one at the other. But it still looks the part. It still looks really good. I love the wash stripe detailing down there at the base. As I say, once those buffers are made to look really greasy and dirty, it'll just look fantastic. You've got window wipers on the windows just here, and they are actual proper wipers as well, which is really nice. I'm guessing those don't light up. In fact, I'm not even aware if it has any lighting at all. I forgot to talk to Nick about that. I'm assuming that's the exhaust then, from the 233 brake horsepower diesel engine underneath there. It's a shame these panels don't pop up to reveal the engine. Now that would be fantastic. But look at that! I've just noticed you've got detail there on the little walkway. That's really nice. Look, just on the top of the chassis here, you've got like a sort of textured surface for people's shoes as they climb up to get inside or to have a look at it and to do maintenance on the engine and stuff. That's really nice. What can I say about the livery? I do have another locomotive in NCB livery. You may remember it's the Class 14, the teddy bear. That is an NCB livery too. It's ever so slightly different, but they both have this sort of navy blue with like a gold trim, and it's nice. It's effective. It's quite smart. There it says Sentinel. Good. And oh my gosh, look at that! They've even included quite a bit of detail inside the cab. That's not bad. You've got a luminous, glowing orangey ready sort of steering. Well, it's not obviously not a steering wheel. It looks like a steering wheel, but I think it's probably for the brakes, maybe. Maybe it's for the brakes, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's to apply the brakes. And then over towards the left, You've got what looks like the actual control console, like where you have all your accelerator and your engine start and light switches and stuff like that. Now, considering how small and compact this model is and how little room there must be inside, that's impressive. That's really good. I appreciate that, Hornby, I really do. I've got to tell you, it's nicely detailed. It's not bad. Is there room for improvement? I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. I'm definitely not an expert on this particular locomotive. I've only bought it because of you. I've only bought it because of the viewers, the channel. I've not bought this for myself. This model has been 100% bought for the channel, for the entertainment and pleasure of you at home watching this or wherever you are. So I really don't know anything else about it. I've never seen one in real life, I know that. But I'm intrigued. I quite fancy going to the East Somerset Railway now to check one out and see what it's like. But wow. Well, I think we've looked at it enough, haven't we? We've looked at the detail, we've looked at all the handrails and the textured surfaces and stuff, which really are quite nice. The next step is to put it on the track and see how it runs. Okay, so thank you for joining me at the layout. Let's just grab the locomotive and put it on. Now, with it being a shunter, and in particular a diesel shunter, I don't really think there's a front and a back, but I'm going to assume... Is that on properly? Yes. I'm going to assume that this is the front and that's the back. I don't know why, I just think that that's how it's supposed to be. I could be completely wrong, I genuinely could. In fact, I probably am, because that's got like... Oh, I don't know. I was going to say that's where the exhaust is, so is that the back? But no, it just genuinely looks like that's the front. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right, let's give it some power. Oh, a bit of a jerk. Okay, let's give it some juice. Wrong way. That's better. And off we go. Okay. So, it was a little bit jerky at first, but it's sort of smoothed out a bit. It's not too bad now. Well, there's that coach I still need to work on. Oh, yeah, it just about coped with the Hornby Express points. Bear in mind, those points have a massive dead zone, so they are killers. The level crossing is in pieces because I've been cleaning the track. Hey, come back. We're talking about you. Yeah, I felt that with this being a shunter and it probably being geared to move quite slowly, just as it is, it would be a good idea to go around the layout and clean the track. So that's what I've done. I used the Track Magic and some kitchen roll, and it's done a fantastic job. It's only fair, isn't it, if a locomotive's brand new and I'm doing a test to make sure that the track is all nice and clean. So that's what I did. And yeah, it's been around 2 or 3 times now, and it's just basically getting smoother and smoother each time. I'm clearly going to have to let it run in, aren't I? But so far I'm impressed. What a nice little shunter, a nice little mechanism. That's it, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, just. Okay, I think we're probably best letting that run in. It's a brand new locomotive. It's never run before as far as I know. This is the first time on my layout, so we'll let it run in. I think 30 minutes in each direction should be more than sufficient. So I'll go away and do some IC82 stuff maybe, do some comment replying and email replying. And then I will return, swap directions, and then continue the review later on. Well, it's been nearly an hour. It's just finishing off its warm-up run. It's, you know, sort of running in this direction. And I've got to say, it is one cracking little locomotive. It's such a good motor mechanism. It's so smooth. I've been very impressed. I've been replying to YouTube comments and messages and things. And in the meantime, I have been popping down to the conservatory to just check on it. And it just runs so smoothly now. Let's just test the slow speed performance. Here we go. Change direction. Okay, it's a little bit jerky, but it's doing it. Even on practically no power. And if I flip to the other way. Yeah, again, at really slow speeds, it's a bit jerky, but it will do it. It even goes quite quick too. Not that we need it to go that quick. Oh, the express points have killed it now. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. That is a cracking little locomotive. I'm definitely going to have to get it chipped, so watch out for a future video on that, because with a shunter like this, we really could benefit from excellent slow, low speed performance. Now, haulage capability. Just how strong is it? How good of a shunter is it? Well, you'll have to wait to see that, because I'm going to be doing a special video called Battle of the Shunters, where we're going to look at this and some other locomotives too, such as the Class 08 and the Class 03, and just a nice wide range of shunters. And I'm going to be making use of this big empty siding over here. That's all I will say for now. But in the meantime, yeah, watch out for that future video. And, well, the Sentinel Shunter. It so far seems to be a cracking little locomotive.